This is Kent Toussaint from Teen Therapy Center in Woodland Hills, California, with our latest Tips on Teens and Clues on Kids video blog, where I answer your questions every week, Wednesdays at 12 o'clock. You can email us your questions at tipsonteens@teentherapycenter.com, or you can messenger us here at Facebook. So today, here is our question. Question is it okay to spank your child? I was spanked when I was a kid, but it seems that we're in a different time now. What else am I supposed to do to get my kid to obey? So let's take the first part of that. Is it okay to spank your child? Is it helpful? Does it help your child emotionally cope and deal with life? And I would argue, no, it does not. What does spanking teach? It does not teach your child discipline. It teaches your child fear. It teaches your child to cope with frustration and anger through violence. That's what it's teaching. It's also teaching your child that you don't respect them, because anyone you would impose physical violence on, you don't respect. You know, a child cannot at the same time respect you and fear you at the same time. It's one or the other. Would you rather have your child respect you or fear you? I would say respect. You learn a lot more from respect than you ever will with fear. With fear, you learn that I'm not good enough. The love my parents have for me is conditional. They may not always love me. They may not always accept me. So it's really important to remember that spanking does not work well. There was a huge study by the University of Texas and University of Michigan. They joined together over 5 decades. They did this study. And what they found was when kids were spanked, they had a higher chance of being physically aggressive and violent as children and as adults. And I think that's not the direction we want our kids to go into. So what can we do instead? You know, we want our kids to obey. And I would say obey is not the correct term either. We don't want our kids to obey. Do you really want your children to learn to obey without question? I don't want to teach my children that. I want my children to have an ability to have critical thinking, to question authority. That is, our whole country is based on questioning authority. So I want them to question authority, because if they don't know how to do that, then what happens when an adult is there and may want to take advantage of them? You want your child to have the critical thinking skills to question, hey, this is not right, and then be able to go to you for help. So what do we do instead? We have a connection. When your kid messes up, and they will, they're going to mess up all the time because they're kids and they're human and we all mess up. That's how we learn, is from mistakes. So when your children mess up, take the time to talk with them. Have the connection, not through shame, but through a sense of collaboration. You know, it's an opportunity to teach. So when your daughter hits her little brother, you know, telling her, if you hit him again, I'm going to spank you, is not really effective parenting. What is effective parenting is helping her understand empathy for her little brother. And that's through communication and you showing your empathy. You setting the example, especially when she can't follow. Now, none of this is easy. Parenting is not easy. Anyone who says parenting is easy is lying or selling you something. Parenting is the hardest thing we'll ever do, but we all love it. We all want to raise our kids to a place where they feel comfortable and safe and happy. So when your kids mess up, when they run out in the street and you got to grab them and you're so scared because they almost get hit by a car, that's not the time to hit. That's the time to hug your kid, make eye contact, connect, talk with them, carefully explain the dangers. And will you have to do that 5, 10, 50 times? Maybe, but spanking them isn't going to get them to do it any faster. So, to wrap things up, find other ways to connect with your kids. Through connection, through spending time with them, having fun with them. That's what's going to help them learn, is having a strong connection with you, not fearing you, but respecting you. So that's my stance on spanking. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you think this would help someone, please feel free to forward it to them. If you have questions for me, you can email them at tipsonteens@teentherapycenter.com, or you can message us here on Facebook, and I'd be happy to answer your question next week, 12 o'clock on Wednesday. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.